Hello, everyone, and welcome to Total Packers with Matt LaFleur, Larry McCarren, along with the head coach of the Green Bay Packers. And Matt, it's on to the Vikings this week. They are just 4-5, but all 5 of those losses were one-score games, and they're coming off a big win over the Chargers. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be another tough task playing in Minnesota. That's one of the toughest places to play, so I'm sure that place will be rocking. And we've got a lot of respect for this football team. They're a team that is competitive each and every week. They've got explosive players on both sides of the football, so it's going to be a great challenge for us.
As for Aaron Rodgers, is it back to normal for him this week?
I think it's back to normal for all of us. It'll be great to have everybody in the building, to have our normal routine, get all the practices in, and hopefully that you'll see that pay dividends in our performance.
Coming off COVID, no practice, how'd you think you did against Seattle?
I thought there was a lot of good things that went on, and I know that, anytime you're not throwing touchdown passes, the numbers take a little bit of a dip, but I thought he did exactly what we needed him to do, and he threw a lot of great balls, and quite frankly, we had a couple drops that definitely would have helped our production, but, I thought, all in all, I thought he did a really good job.
Now that you've had a chance to really look at it, that shutout you guys pitched against Seattle, who or what stood out to you?
It was really everybody. Like, everybody played a part in it. I thought our defense was just flying around, being physical. That's one thing that we talked about going into the game. I thought we won the line of scrimmage. We were relentless in both the rush and the coverage. Anytime you're playing against a guy like Russell Wilson with his ability to escape the pocket and make the off-schedule play, you need both the back end and your rush to be relentless, and they did exactly that.
It was just a 3-0 game heading into the fourth quarter, but during that fourth quarter, an Adrian Amos interception sandwiched in between 2 long drives offensively won it for you. What did that fourth quarter tell you about your football team?
That our guys are going to compete for the full 60 minutes and then some, as we've learned this year. But it speaks volumes of our guys' ability to go out there and just compete at a high level for the whole duration of the game.
Offensively speaking, just 17 points, but almost 400 yards of production, almost 40 minutes of time of possession. What did you see from your offense?
There was a lot to be happy about, but there's also a lot for us to learn from, and I think we can be a little bit better. I think we just got to make sure that we really rein in and focus on the details and the fundamentals, and hopefully that'll lead to better execution.
I was watching TV, and on one of the sports channels, they had a little thing at the bottom of the screen, like what's coming up next. And it said, how are the Packers changing their offensive identity? You're not changing it, are you?
No. We're going to kind of do what we've done. And I think each and every week you might have some wrinkles. I think you got to be able to adjust to some of the things that the defense presents itself with. And I thought Seattle, you got to give them credit. We knew that they were very good on third down and in the red zone, and they were able to hold us on a couple of those occasions. Certainly, there were a couple plays that got called back that, potentially took points off the board. But each week, it's always a challenge in this league, and we just got to perform a little bit better on offense and be a little bit more consistent.
Why were screen passes so effective against Seattle?
Well, when you look at their coverage contour, they're a big-time, play a lot of zone defense, and they were getting a lot of depth. They were really taking away the big play. So if teams are going to do that, we've got to be able to either hit checkdowns or use the screen game, and we were able to execute the screen game pretty efficiently and got a couple of explosives out of it.
Matt, unfortunately, when it comes to injuries, the hits just keep on coming. Now, you've been able to overcome them so far. To do it again, what are the keys to overcoming injuries?
Having people that can step in and provide that spark, and so that there's no letdown. And we're very fortunate. We've got a pretty deep team. We're getting a lot of guys experience, and we need guys, to continue to step up and make sure they prepare the right way. And it's really a credit to everybody. It's a credit to our coaches getting our guys prepared, and it's a credit credit to each individual that's been called upon to go in there and perform at a high level.
Thank you, Matt. Coming up, the man in the middle, De'Vondre Campbell. Don't go away.
I definitely kind of go into Vikings games with the chip on my shoulder because I played in the Twin Cities, so they got a very close look at me personally. You know, they didn't draft me, so yeah, I kind of take it personal when I play against the Vikings.
Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers, by Bellin Health, and by Johnsonville. Welcome back. This one-on-one is brought to you by Pothole Frozen Pizza from Quick Trip.
Ready to brought down. De'Vondre Campbell on the hit.
And we did that as a defense.
Campbell just shows up.
De'Vondre, where does shutting out Russell Wilson and the Seattle Seahawks rank on your list of football accomplishments?
It has to be very high, for sure, top 3. I don't think I've ever been a part of a shutout, and I mean, especially with the caliber of team we just played. You know, we played against a really good football team that has a lot of playoff experience, a lot of experience in general, especially at the quarterback position. So for us to be able to go out and perform the way we did yesterday, that was a huge step in the right direction.
De'Vondre, you seem to be very natural in your ability to cover receivers. Is that just something you have a feel for, or is it an acquired skill?
I think it's a little bit of both. I have thousands of reps over the course of my career of me running with receivers, you know, dating back to my career in Atlanta. So it definitely is something that it's a natural ability as well as a skill that you learn from. Like I say, repetition is everything, and the more you do something, the better you'll get at it.
Calling the defensive signals as the mic man. You also not only call them, you also direct a lot of traffic out there. Do you enjoy that kind of responsibility, because it's considerable?
Yeah, I love it actually. It's a great responsibility because, you know, everybody's looking to you. In situations of chaos, I just like to keep everybody cool, calm, and collected. And that's my job as the mic, make sure everybody's on the same page, make sure everybody knows their assignment, and that we're all cohesive and operating as one, you know. Like, it's actually pretty funny when you're in the huddle and everybody's looking at you with these wide eyes, and it's like, it's a pretty cool feeling for sure.
Now, you went to the University of Minnesota. I think the folks in the Twin Cities call it the U. Does playing the Vikings this week come with any extra added juice?
I definitely kind of go into Vikings games with a chip on my shoulder because I played in the Twin Cities, so they got a very close look at me personally, and you know, they didn't draft me, so yeah, I kind of take it personal when I play against the Vikings for sure.
De'Vondre, you told us one time that in the past, it always seemed like you were playing Robin to somebody else's Batman. Well, after being named Pro Football Focus Mid-Season All-Pro and the NFC Defensive Player of the Month, I think you have finally been promoted to Batman.
Oh, for sure. I definitely, like I always say, I'm very grateful for the opportunity more than anything, you know, because the only thing that you can ever ask for in this world is an opportunity. And I've asked before, you know, and I don't know if it was a lack of belief from other people or what it was, but like I've always said, I knew that I could do it. I just needed the opportunity to show it. Like I've always had to play within the scheme of other teams. I used to call myself the garbage man, you know. Your job isn't really noticed by everyone else, but it's very important, you know what I mean? So it just feels good to be kind of the man in my role and have everybody looking to me and me being able to run everything. And, you know, you see what happens when you give somebody an opportunity.
Thank you, De'Vondre. Coming up this week's Chalk Talk, don't go away. Welcome back. This week's Chalk Talk is brought to you by Network Health. To win consistently in the NFL, you got to make big plays, and that means you got to have players good enough to make them, and the Packers do. It's 10-0 Packers, 8:16 left, plenty of time for Russell Wilson, and he's looking deep for one of his big-time guys, Tyler Lockett, who's running a wicked corner post. You can see that first break towards the corner, then to the post and toward the coverage of Adrian Amos. Classic 50-50 ball, and Adrian high points it, plucks it out of the air, and literally rips it away from Lockett. And you know what's interesting? Look how much bigger Adrian seems than Lockett. Let's switch the angle. Now the Packers list Adrian as 6 feet even, 214 pounds, but he seems, if you stood next to him, he seems a lot bigger than that. He certainly plays bigger. He's thick like a linebacker, and Lockett's got his hand in there. He's doing his best, but Adrian is just too big and too strong. So instead of Seattle getting 7 points, the Packers get the football. Exactly 2 plays later, Aaron Rodgers is going to A.J. Dillon in the flat, and this is not a screen pass where A.J. has a bunch of blockers out there with him. He is all by his 247-pound lonesome, but watch him. He runs right through 1 tackle. And then downfield, he's going to get a terrific block from MVS, who does a great job of finessing the thing and keeping it legal. You see it right there? And check out Davante Adams. Yeah, he digs that chili. Meanwhile, back at AJ, the big man is using his little man's feet to escape and avoid DJ Reed. And then Bobby Wagner gets to him, and by the time Bobby Wagner gets him down, AJ has picked up 9 more yards for a total of 50. Just like Adrian Amos before him, A.J. Dillon making the kind of play that wins games.
His catch and broken tackles and run down the sidelines to get us out of a backed up situation into their side of the field to put the game away and go up 3 scores. I mean, that was the play of the game for sure.
Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Network Health, by your Wisconsin Toyota dealers, and by Ticketmaster.
Today we have an opportunity to be out here on the Stars and Stripes honor flight and just have a chance to reflect with some of our Vietnam veterans.
It's really fun to have 4 Green Bay Packer alumni with us today. Tony Fisher, Jarrett Bush, Ryan Taylor, and Evan Smith are here. I've seen them make a real bond with their veterans today, people that they didn't know just a few days ago. The Packers have been so supportive of honor flights in general, and we're just glad to be able to have their support and give a little bit of an extra touch to this very special day for the veterans.
Well, the thing is, you hear everybody talking about what they did and what branch of the service. It was the Navy, the Marines, the Army, the Coast Guard was here to hear the stories, and they remembered each other that way.
It's emotional somewhat, and it's fun, and meeting new people and stuff. It's great, unbelievable.
These monuments are impressive. This whole area, I mean, it's a joy to come in and get your feelings out and see the different aspects of different military. You just don't believe what's going on.
Paul Grip, he's been fantastic to be around and to share a lot of stories. Just understand some meaning behind what it is to be a soldier.
With Jarrett, this guy's unbelievable. I appreciate what he's done for me. Otherwise, I would have never been able to walk this. What the honor flight has done for us, there ain't no words you can describe of what they've done. Can't say enough.
I don't know how you guys do this. It's such a wonderful organization, and all these people and volunteers you have, it just amazes me.
They are so deserving of this honor, and it really is a chance for us to give them the proper thank you and welcome home that they deserve.
Share your support for our military troops stationed both home and abroad by sending a holiday greeting. Make a holiday card and drop off at any Fleet Farm location, the Packers Pro Shop, or mail to Lambeau Field by December 5th. Cards will be collected and distributed to military personnel serving during the holidays. Welcome back. Time to hand out game balls. And Matt, on offense, you're going with A.J. Dillon. 128 yards of offense for him, almost half of it as a receiver. I guess that young fella can catch the ball out of the backfield after all.
Yeah, he can do it all, and he had that big reception out in the left flat that he broke a bunch of tackles, and you know that was an explosive play that led to points. So, you know, we're going to have to lean on him more and more throughout the course of the season, but he's a guy I think that can handle the load.
And on defense, you went, surprisingly enough, with everybody, but could you focus in with your comments on the secondary? I thought they covered very, very well.
Yeah, anytime you hold two dynamic receivers and a dynamic quarterback to that little production, you got to give it up to all of those guys. And it was Kevin King, it was Rasul Douglas, it was Stokes, it was Adrian Amos and Darnell Savage. Shannon Sullivan was in there. Henry Black did a nice job. So all those guys played a lot, and they contributed at a high level.
On special teams, you went with Douglas, having a big night all the way around, and Malik Taylor. Can you talk about their contributions?
Yeah, it's pretty cool to watch a guy like Rasul Douglas play 41 snaps on defense and then start on 3 phases on special teams. He had 2 knockdowns as a corner on punt return, and then also did a great job on kickoff. And then you talk about Malik Taylor, what he's been able to do as a gunner, running down on kickoff. He does a great job.
All right, coming up, the last word from the coach. Don't go away. Total Packers with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Fabic Cat, proud sponsor of the Green Bay Packers. The Last Word with Matt LaFleur is brought to you by Construction Business Group and Wisconsin Operating Engineers. Welcome back. Time for the last word from the coach. And Matt, as we talked about earlier, a division rival, the Vikings, this week. What concerns you most about that football team?
Well, they have a very explosive offense. You know, Kirk Cousins playing at a really high level right now. They've got Dalvin Cook, who's always a danger anytime he touches the ball. Then you got Thielen and Jefferson. So there's a lot of weapons on that offense. And then defensively, Mike Zimmer always does a great job of scheming up and presenting a lot of problems. They've got a veteran group there. I think they're number 1 in the league in sacks per pass attempt right now. So it's going to be a great challenge. We're going to have to play our best ball.
Thank you, Matt. Good luck against the Vikings, and thank you for watching. Until next time, take care.